Secret Room Multimedia.com. This is Silph Radio, a Pokemon podcast. I'm Nathan K.
I'm Briana Joy.
And something weird happened. So this is a little bit different, which is why you're getting this cold opening. So we recorded an episode. Oh, geez, how long ago was it? It was still warm out.
Months and months ago.
It was.
I don't remember.
It was me, you, and Craig, because I remember watching the movie on my back porch with my feet kicked up on my laptop. My feet weren't kicked up on my laptop. I was watching the movie on my laptop with my feet kicked up. You're like, no wonder your fucking monitor's broken.
I know. You fucking kicked it.
That's what happened to my fucking audio. Stop resting your feet on your goddamn laptop. So me, Craig, and Briana all teamed up to record an episode about the third Pokemon movie. What's it called?
Shit. Spell of the Unown.
Pokemon the Movie 3, Spell of the Unknown, Entei, or something like that.
Yeah, it's funny. We only did it a couple months ago. We already forgot what it's called.
It's the naming equivalent of the fucking Silmarillion. Like, Jesus Christ. But me, Craig, and Briana teamed up to do this episode, and we lost Briana's audio somehow. I lost it. We didn't do shit.
Way to go, Nathan.
Yeah, my bad.
It's fine.
So I don't know how the fuck it happened, and it broke my heart because I had a lot of fun with this episode, and there were a lot of really cool things we learned about the Pokemon franchise that extended past just this movie alone, you know, like the creation of specific Pokemon species, so much stuff I didn't want to lose.
That's okay. We all fuck up sometimes.
Yeah.
So I guess, I know that you tried your best to doctor it up, and let's hope that my voice isn't too annoying to all you. So. Oh,
well, your voice isn't annoying.
I think it's annoying.
I did my best to save the episode and salvage what I could. So unfortunately, some of what Briana contributed to the episode got lost in the edit, and what did remain is very, very distorted audio-wise. Like, it's not this. It's you'll hear it. It's not the type of quality that I hope our listeners have come to expect from Silph Radio. But it's a good episode, and I think you'll still have fun listening to it. If, however, you listen and it was not worth putting out, let us know, and we'll keep that in mind if this happens again in the future.
I mean, I'll be like Disembodio from Riff Tracks, so, I mean, that's kind of cool, right?
Disembodio? Riff Tracks, I've never listened to, but that's the Mystery Science Theater guys, right?
Yeah, Disembodio is like the guy that talks, that, makes sure the movie's in sync with the commentary. So he'll say stuff in a cool robot voice to kind of make sure your movie's matched up to it. So I'll be like Disembodio.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Well, you'll have to see it to understand. But I'm sure some of our listeners know what I'm talking about.
All
so
right. I'll just take your word for it that you're like that in this context. Me and Craig did a Riff Tracks years ago, and I still have that. I didn't lose that. It's for the Street Fighter movie. And
oh my God. We should do a Riff Tracks Pokemon style. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
Well, the reason I never put it out was because I'm like, this doesn't hold up as a podcast on its own, and I wanted to make sure that all our podcasts hold up on their own, that you could just listen to them without needing to reference anything else. That's why we always go so in depth to let you know what's going on in the movie reviews, you know? I don't know.
I think we should do a Silph Radio abridged, kind of like Pokemon abridged, but Silph Radio style. I think that'd be fun.
So by abridged, do you mean like Dragon Ball abridged, where we overdub our own voices?
Yes.
That would be cool, except I'm fucking scared to put anything on YouTube because I don't know if I ever, I don't know if we talked about it or if I mentioned it on the show at all, but our episode that we did, number 12, the banned Pokemon episodes, I've been uploading the episodes up to YouTube, and I'll put little slideshows of images on there, and I uploaded the banned episodes one, and it was up for a year or two, and then suddenly it just got taken down for copyright infringement.
Those bitches. Damn, that's so...
I was like, get the fuck out of town. This is an entirely... everything in the episode itself, the audio episode, there's no third-party material. And the only third-party material in the video was the pictures, the fan art, and the screen caps of the episodes that I used in the slideshow. And I actually like sent my info to YouTube and was like, this is bullshit. I want to contact the company. And they gave me the contact information for the company that put the complaint against me, the fucking Japanese animation production company that makes the Pokemon anime. And I emailed them. They didn't respond. So I emailed them again, and they responded in Japanese. And I had to translate their fucking email. Like
Did they say fuck you, Nathan?
That was a fuck you, wasn't it? Like they were like, fuck you, you dumb fucking, your stupid ass fucking comedy podcast.
You know you fucked up somewhere if the actual people from Japan are pissed at you about something you posted on YouTube.
It was like, you clearly read my email that was in English. You couldn't send me an email back in English. But so I translated it, and it was basically like the third-party material in your video was pictures. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Nobody gets taken down from YouTube for fucking pictures, but I did. And I know why I got taken down. It was because the name of the episode was Pokemon Banned Episodes, and it was like an hour and a half long, and they just like took it down because they assumed it was some banned episodes. Like, fuck
they assumed
them.
it was the actual banned episodes. Well,
Yeah.
Guess what? We don't have the time or money for that. So it was just pictures. Sorry, Japan.
Well, I re-uploaded it without the pictures, and now it made me a little more conscious, and now I feel bad about using people's fan art without specifically crediting them. So if I've done that, if you're listening and I've shared your fan art on some form of social media without crediting you, please reach out to me. I am genuinely sorry, and I will rectify that, and I'll share your page and whatever I have to do to rectify that. So, yeah, if however, you own an animation studio and you own the licensing rights to the number one most lucrative franchise on planet Earth, you can suck my dick. I'm making a free podcast, man. Get off my case. I'm just trying to love you. I'm just trying to love you.
And this was the last episode of Silph Radio, y'all. Pokemon shut us down. It was a sad day.
What an episode to go out on.
So, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out recently, and
oh yeah, of course it was going to come to this.
That's all I've been doing. Like,
okay,
I love it. It's everything I could have wanted in a Pokemon game and more. So, if you don't have it yet, I highly recommend it.
So, who do you have, Pikachu or Eevee?
I played Pikachu first. It was my sister's game. She was gracious enough to let me play it. And it was amazing. I got like a shiny Growlithe within like the first like hour of me playing. And I'm like, this is insane.
I played it a little bit. I went over to Phil's new place, and he just got a TV that's like, it's half the size of his apartment. It's fucking gigantic. It's humongous. And I played a little bit, and I didn't actually play. I just explored. And I explored the entirety of Kanto. So, like, I went everywhere there was to go pretty much in Kanto so I could check it out and look at it. And I got to ride on the back of a Rapidash, and that was pretty incredibly satisfying and fulfilling. So
it's amazing. Like, and I love how the Pokemon, spawn in this game. Like, you can see what you're going to get, before you can get it.
Oh, running around in the wild. Yeah.
I'm a little sad.
I love seeing the shadows fly over of like the Pidgeys and the Fearos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I don't have a Switch, and I'm not going to save up for it. Honestly, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is pretty cool, but I kind of got what I needed out of it already.
Well, I've almost basically beaten Pikachu, but my sister surprised me and got me Eevee before I went back to Florida. So I've been borrowing my roommate's Switch, and I'm playing Eevee now, and it's amazing. Well, I just love it so much.
I was also burnt by Odyssey because, like, I was going to save up for Super Mario Odyssey, and, like, the idea of an open-world Mario game was just, I was so excited for it, but I had kind of misinterpreted the signals because, and I refused for, like, the last year or two, however long it's been out, to even watch any YouTube videos about it, like, past the first initial few I did, because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, and I finally played it, and have you played Super Mario Odyssey?
No, I haven't.
Well, I was under the impression that it was like Grand Theft Auto. It was a big open world, one big map that you could go from one world to the next world to the next world in real time, just open travel anywhere you wanted. And it's not. It's isolated levels that are open worlds unto themselves, and then you take his hat and fly from level to level. It's still a really good game, but it's completely not what I was expecting, and that made
not what you wanted. Yeah,
I was immensely disappointed because I was really excited for that game, but it is what it is.
Take note, Nintendo. Give us what we want.
Anything else new you've been up to Pokemon-wise? It has been a while. You know what? It's been so long since we recorded this that I wanted to make this the Christmas episode now that I was finally getting close to putting it out, because the Entei movie kind of works as like a Christmassy movie, you know, with the crystal landscape and the I don't know, it has a Christmassy feel. But
Merry late Christmas, I guess.
It's not Christmas.
Mid-January or whenever we decide to put this out.
I'm going to try like hell to get it out tonight.
Look at you, damn.
Well, we'll see. I'm not even done editing the bulk of the episode yet, but tomorrow something really cool is happening. I'm taking place in the first UPPL tournament, which is the United Podcasters Pokemon League tournament.
Wait, what? That's a thing?
It is a thing, and I'm pretty excited. Me, Nathan K of Silph Radio, is going to be representing the Pewter City Fossils. That's my team. I made the logo and everything.
That's cool. So what do you guys do with that league? Is it like cards, or is it...
No. It's actually the video game battle system. We're just using an emulator online, and it's composed of 12 different podcasts, or... not 12 different podcasts, but 12 different teams. Because, for example, Jolly by Nature, who a lot of our listeners should be familiar with, one of the 3 hosts of Blast Burn Radio, set this up. So each of his hosts has a team. And there's PUCL, one of the oldest Pokemon podcasts, is going to be participating. And Pokemon Rollout, which is like a Pokemon RPG podcast. Like they play an actual tabletop campaign, like Dungeons & Dragons style. They're going to be participating. Pokemon Crossroads, the Safari Zone, Luke Loves Pokemon, the Science of Pokemon. I'm pretty excited for this, and as of today, January 5th, the day that we're recording this, so get the shit out, Nathan. Tomorrow, Sunday, the 6th, on the PUCL Twitch stream, which is like, I don't know, twitch.tv/PUCL. Go to our Facebook page and I'll give you the link, or get a hold of me and I'll give you the link, or Google. I don't know. Fucking Google. If I can find it, you can find it. I'm a fucking absolute Luddite. So tomorrow, January 6th at 1 p.m. on PUCL's stream, we're going to be doing the draft. Basically, each team, each coach will get to pick 12 different Pokemon, and then in each match, we'll take 6 Pokemon and make a team to go into that match with.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was trying to prepare. Jolly hooked me up with an assistant who was going to help me, like, because I'm not strategically minded at all. Well, I can understand strategy, but I'm not good at actually battling competitively and having to make these choices and this planning and stuff. But at the end of the day, honestly, I just kind of want to pick the Pokemon I like. And I know I'll probably lose because of that, but that's sort of already a foregone conclusion. So, you know what? I'll have more fun losing with Pokemon I love than I will winning with Pokemon I picked because, you know, for strategy. So, like, to anyone who found Silph Radio because you followed the UPPL and were interested to check us out, that's why I suck so bad. I hope
as long as you try, it's fine.
I hope you enjoy the podcast more than you do my my competitive battle skills with a Z. So before we get to the episode proper, you told me before we started that you had a Pokemon dream, and I was really curious to hear about that because even though most people hate hearing about dreams, I felt like that needed to be on the Silph Radio program. I'm incredibly jealous because my entire life I've never once had a fucking Pokemon dream, and it damn pisses me off.
You need to play more then, because like when I started playing Pikachu and Eevee, that's all I would have is Pokemon dreams.
Well, I think about it nonstop. Why do I need to play the game?
So I went to bed like at 1 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't stop playing Let's Go Eevee, obviously. And in the dream, I was playing the game still, but like I was on top of a cliff. And
like in real life? I mean, in the
like,
dream.
Well, in the game. Like, in the game itself. So I'm dreaming that I'm playing this game. You know what I mean? But it's like first person.
So you're not... Hold on. In the dream, is Briana sitting in her living room playing a video game in which the character is on top of cliff?
Yeah.
Or is Briana sitting on top of cliff with their TV hooked up playing the game? Okay, no.
It's like VR. I think that's where my dream was trying to tell me was VR.
So the character in the game was on the cliff.
Right.
Okay.
But I was seeing it like first person.
Okay.
So I just wanted to see like what I could do in the game. So I ended up jumping off the cliff. My character was jumping off the cliff. And then the character, this part blew my mind. It dove into like the water below. And I'm not kidding. Like the character started like swimming like it was part of the game. And there were all these, like, it was like the dive move, you know, but it was like so realistic. And like all the Pokemon were like in the water. You know, you could just see them. Like it was like a real ocean. It was just the coolest thing. I don't know. I really like that.
Is water your favorite type?
I don't know. I want to say between like water and fairy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Siren.
It's Japan coming to get you.
Okay. How about if you were a Pokemon type or dual type, it's up to you. What type would you be? Water fairy or something else? I
would say water fairy.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't think there are. Is there any water fairy types?
Meryl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Milotic or a Dragonair. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That was what you would want to be, you said?
Yeah, like something graceful, you know.
Now, I'm imagining, though, if you had a Pokemon type and you don't change physically, it's just Briana, but you have...
Okay. That went right over my head.
You are now this type, so you have, like, you learn moves. Like, he'll just... Once you make an accomplishment, like, you fill out an application, do an interview, and get this new job or get a promotion or something, and then you level up, and suddenly it's like, Briana learned water gun, and now you can do water gun.
I live in Florida. I would absolutely love to learn surf on those really hot days. Just be on Main Street working in Disney and then just like use surf and just like wipe everybody out on Main Street. Turn into a giant fucking swimming pool. Oh, I'd be so down.
And that was the last episode of Briana working at Disney ever. All right. Well, without further ado, let's get to the episode. We hope you enjoy it. Please check out the UPPL. There's a lot of cool podcasters participating, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And I wish you the best of luck in that, Nathan. So, you know.
Oh, thanks. Luck. I'm going to need it, so thank you.
Enjoy our episode, and hope to hear from you soon.
Hey, this is Ash Ketchum, and you're listening to Silph Radio.
This is Silph Radio, a Pokemon-centered podcast for mature listeners. Every episode of this podcast, we look at a different aspect of the Pokemon universe, whether that has something to do with the games, the mangas, the toys, the card game, or the anime. Joining me today to discuss another Pokemon movie. We are going sequentially and skipping the second one and talking about the third Pokemon movie I have with me.
I'm Craig Lewis.
I'm Briana Joy.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Well, this is my first ever three-way.
The second.
All right, easy, Brock. Calm down, Brock.
No, I'm like a seasoned pro at these three-ways.
Today, the topic of discussion is Pokemon 3, the movie, Spell of the Unown, Entei.
Why are we getting hung up on this? Legendary.
Yeah, I gotta say, the movie titles for Pokemon movies are fucking ridiculous. Even in Japan, it's Pocket Monsters the Movie, Emperor of the Crystal Tower, Entei.
3, great movie, big movie.
Actually, the English title is more Japanese, like more stereotypically like English than the fucking actual English translation of the Japanese title. Pokemon 3, the movie.
Haha.
All right, first of all, can we talk about that? Pokemon 3, the movie. What? What? No, get the...
Is it the third Pokemon movie or the first Pokemon 3 movie?
And then Spell of the Unown. And then Entei. Okay, you could just left Entei off of there. Entei did not need to be there. Like, come on, guys.
On the title or in the...
I mean, he's on the freaking art. Like, we know Entei is there. Why add it?
Yeah.
It's like, and Ash. And Brock.
It works a little better in the Japanese. Like, Emperor of the Crystal Tower, Entei. Like, in the Japanese, it's saying, like, Entei is the Emperor of the Crystal Tower. Like, in this, it's just like, all right, you just threw a character's name in. Yeah, like, Lisa. Like, why don't you call it Spell of the Unknown? Lisa.
With a brief appearance by Tracy.
Tracy's like, wow. I got top billing, Ash. Who are you? Who are you? He pulls out Dexter. Your old friend, Tracy. You used to go on adventures with him.
I gotta talk to a producer about this.
I'm gonna catch him.
Want a battle?
Ash, I draw Pokemon. All right. So wait, is this you chose the topic today. Is this your favorite of the Pokemon movies? It's often cited as the best.
It's between this one and Pokemon Heroes. Honestly, this one I watched the most frequently growing up. I love this movie. I love the relationship between, the two of the main characters, Molly and her father. It reminded me a lot of my father and I, because I call my dad Papa as well. And when I was a kid, I used to make him watch this movie with me. And he's like the typical dad, like mustache, puns, dad jokes, falls asleep anytime you get him to watch anything. So that was like what it always was. I tried to make him watch the movie like 5-6 times. And I'd always look over and he'd be passed out on the couch. And so that was my childhood and I love it.
That's so sweet.
I mean, it might be the third act of the movie that put him to sleep, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
I don't think so. That's where it kicked it into high gear.
Whatever you say about the first 2 acts, it moves along, but then I don't know. I feel anyway
with Team Rocket in there too.
That's all they do in the movie. They just move along.
Guys, the scene this way.
Gotta have the jokes in there for the adults.
So, what is Pokemon Heroes? Which one is that?
That is the one with Latios and Latias. It's based in like a Venice, Italy type of place. It's a beautiful movie. I can't wait to discuss that one with you guys. I love it. I love the animation. I love the storyline. But yeah, this movie specifically, Pokemon 3, the movie, is one of my personal favorites.
I mean, okay, so obviously we haven't covered the second movie about Lugia yet. We talked about Mewtwo Strikes Back, the first Pokemon movie. Pokemon, the first movie.
Number 1.
Pokemon 1, the first movie. Ash, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
And isn't it funny how the second movie isn't even Pokemon the movie 2, it's just Pokemon 2000? Like, that's it. There's a 2 in there, so they're like, yeah, that's good enough, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Chronologically confused.
No, they go out of their way to make you not with Pokemon 3, the movie.
Well, which one is it, man?
Is there a Pokemon 3, the show?
And no one knows which one the fourth movie is because you have, like, Mewtwo Returns and then you have, like, Pokemon Forever.
Oh.
They're so creative, guys. Oh, my God.
Oh, and Pokemon Forever isn't the fourth movie?
Well, I'm trying to remember because one of them came before the other. I'm pretty sure Mewtwo Returns came before Pokemon Forever.
Oh, my God. Well, it had an interesting creation history, this one itself. It was originally going to be an entirely different movie, actually. So it was written by Takeshi Shudo. He wrote the first 2 movies, and this was his last movie. This is actually the only Pokemon movie to date that has more than one screenwriter, which again, say what you will about this anime and these movies. I love the Japanese anime and manga like model. They're like, no, hire a writer, let the writer tell him what you want and you expect of him, and then let him do his job. And
right. So this is the first one that brings in a second screenwriter?
yeah, because he got sick and he couldn't continue writing the movies. But compared to like, Disney does it right with like Infinity War and stuff because they have enough money to like hire the best writers, like and the best producers and all that. But like for the most part, hiring 1 million people to write your movie and then rewrite your movie and then rewrite your movie is a dumb way to make a well-written movie.
Yeah.
And
that's a good way to like get a completely different movie.
yeah, so I respect that. But he wrote the first 2 movies, and I actually found out in researching this movie, he is responsible for the creation of Lugia.
Oh, he like made Lugia, and then the game devs were like, yes.
Kinda. Yeah, he asked if he could create a new Pokemon for the script, but I feel weird saying he created Lugia because I feel like he said, can I create a new Pokemon for the script that has to do with like the tides and the ocean and all that? And they were like, sure. And they gave him permission to. And that started a new tradition of creating legendaries just for the fucking movies with not a strong presence in the game. Now that makes so much sense, like where it started. But they, Game Freak designed it. And Ken Sugimori did the final art for it. So, like, I feel weird saying he created Lugia, but I don't feel weird saying he's responsible for the creation of Lugia.
For the idea of the Pokemon.
Yeah, and he probably created it in the sense that he probably wrote the script and defined what it was without their final designs and all that,
Cool.
Right? So they weren't going to give him permission to do that again, though, for the third movie.
Oh, no.
You fucked it up, man. You had one chance.
And he's like, oh, man, but I was saving my favorite Pokemon. Missing no for this next one.
That's the unknown Pokemon missing now.
So no, he was sort of in this weird spot because Gold and Silver weren't out yet, and he didn't have any new Pokemon to work with in writing the script. Like, as we can see, a lot of new Pokemon appear in this movie. That's because later in their production, of course, they can fill in what Pokemon Ash has and what he's battling.
Right.
But when he's first writing the script, he doesn't have any new Pokemon to work with. And they're not going to base the movie around a Flaffy either way.
Right.
Why
So,
not? Flaffy's cool as shit.
right, Ampharos, maybe.
Totodile was a good way to go.
Pokemon 3, the movie. Spell of the Unknown. Totodile.
Whack, whack, whack.
And Entei.
Totodile and Entei. Their forces combined, they create Iceman.
So, the first draft of this movie, you ready to have your fucking minds blown? The first draft of this movie, he was like, all right, so, I focused on a really personal, like, introspective story about self-identity in the first movie. And then in the second movie, I focused on, like, coexistence. And what am I going to do for the third movie? So he's like, I started thinking about, what is this world we live in? What is the world that these people inhabit? How come there's real-life trees and plants, but there's no real-life animals? And how come we did see little glimpses or references here and there, but we never see any? And, like, what's the difference between plant Pokemon and actual plants? And, like, so he wanted to explore these themes in the third movie, which, wow.
I didn't catch that.
Well, no, he didn't. This is...
That seems wildly more profound than... that sounds like something Jeff Lemire could do.
Well, it's interesting. It's weird. Like, is it a good thing that they didn't go that direction, though? Because it's kind of cool that they didn't that early on decide to establish these things, because we're still debating that stuff. And the longer it takes, the more it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
it kind of sorts itself out.
Yeah, as it slowly develops.
Pokemon 3, the movie, Ash has an existential crisis.
Entei.
With hentai.
Delia. Well, it's really weird. I guess it's interesting the direction he chose to go. And he poured his heart into the script. This all comes from actual blog posts by Takeshi Shudo. So this isn't some third-hand creepypasta rumor, but straight from the mouth of the writer on his personal blog in Japanese. He goes on to elucidate that there's no actual like Darwinian theory of evolution in this world. And a lot of people like Professor Oak, for example, quit what they were doing to sort of study this and try to figure out what's going on, what happened to all the animals. I guess there's like, he was going to establish that animals did exist in the Pokemon universe, but then they went extinct. And so there's records of animals, but there's no one living that's seen them. And there's like photographs. Yeah. Weird, right? So the plot of the movie was going to be about a fossil is dug up of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah. Not a Pokemon. An animal. An extinct
dinosaur.
Animal. Yes.
A real old dead dinosaur.
Yep. And
so if they don't make this into a movie at some point in time, maybe it'd be Pokemon movie 30, I would love to see that, because that has actually never been addressed at all.
No.
Because you see the animals and then you don't. Like, they just like, oh, they don't worry about that. Don't watch the first few episodes. That's not a worm. That's not a fish.
I don't know if I do want them to do it, though, because I like I said, I like that it's slowly working itself out through the generations of games. The more little details they add, the more the fans pick up the ball, and, you know, the more Silph Radio episodes come out, the more it starts to make sense.
Pokemon 30, the movie 30, dinosaurs, Entei.
Well, yeah, it doesn't end there, though. The T-Rex fossil was going to spring to life and go on a rampage.
What kind of fossil Pokemon is this?
It was going to destroy like the Rocket headquarters. It was going to destroy Oak's lab. He actually goes on to say that Oak would be looking and he'd be like, I always knew it would come to this. And it seems now it is the time it has. Really? Why, Oak? Why did you always know it? All right, Ian Malcolm, calm the fuck down. Why did you always know it would come to this?
Why the fuck didn't you do anything?
At least, like, get John Hammond in here. Somebody with money that can handle this.
And he was expecting actually going in for them to shoot this down because of what we're saying, how much it would shake up the status quo and define the universe. But that's actually not why they shot this script down, believe it or not. You guys want to take a guess as to why they did? Each of you. Craig, you go first.
I'm going to say that 6-year-old heads would explode.
Why? Like, why? Like,
they just couldn't handle that. They're like, oh, kids aren't going to test well in this market.
Well, it wasn't because of the status quo being shaken up. You just think it would be inappropriate for children to
Not
T-Rex
like inappropriate. I just think they can make more money if they decide to focus on something easier, like family.
Okay. And what about you, Briana?
I say money. They're like, yeah, T-Rex is expensive to animate. You know, that'll just...
Well, they're like, our artists can draw anything. What do you mean?
Except for a T-Rex. That's triple.
Well, I mean, they had T-Rex Pokemon later on, so I think they're like, well, you know, just keep it one thing.
Well,
I think it was like, it would pull up too much other shit that's like, wait, but if this is this, then how is that, how that, and then...
Well, no, that's...
Explain all this shit to these kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying, guys, is that it wasn't that. So, that's what he was expecting them to shoot him down for, is that they'd be like, guys, that's too much. It's confusing, but that wasn't what it was. Like, and they shot him down for something else. But you were both right with regards to money. The second movie didn't make near as much money as the first one did in Japan and in America.
Need to reel them in this time, guys. We got one last chance, or else it's Pokemon Never the movie.
So you were right. Like that was the reasoning, but I have an exact quote about their problem with the story. Like, because you're right, it was about the money, and that's what they said. They're like, we really are worried about how much money we're going to make. We have to be sure that this story is going to make money. And the reason they thought that story wasn't going to make money, let me find it here, I wrote it down, was, quote unquote, a story where a bunch of minerals gains consciousness and comes to life won't be a hit.
Minerals.
What?
Dude, those are dinosaurs.
That's like 1/17 of what Pokemon is. No, I'll say 2/17. Ground type and rock type. No, 3. And steel type.
It won't be a hit, it'll be a gyro hit.
Ooh. And the gold medal goes to Briana. Briana, here is your American Comedy Award. Let's all... Yeah, I just find that really interesting reasoning. Real great rationale there. Like, what? What? Wait. A T-Rex is rampaging and you're focused on... So wait, it's just... Oh, you said a fossil.
It's
so
just minerals.
It's a bunch of minerals coming to life.
Minerals destroying the joint.
No, it's a T-Rex.
Yeah, minerals.
I'm gonna laugh down the road, like everyone's afraid about the sun exploding and us running out of resources. No, the minerals are gonna spring to life and they're gonna kill us all.
Right, I'm picturing...
You see? I predicted this.
Yeah, they're like... Early on in the development of the anime, they're like, hey, Game Freak, we're about to do the episode with the first gym leader. What do you got for us? And they're like, all right, his name's Brock. And they're like, cool. Here's what he looks like. Here's the designs from Ken Sugimori. All right, well, what kind of Pokemon does he have? All right, well, we're going to send him to you soon. We don't have the final designs from Sugimori yet, but he has a giant rock snake. And they're like, he just has a bunch of minerals?
Minerals?
No. It's like a giant, ferocious rock snake. Yeah, I don't think the kids are going to like a bunch of minerals. All right, well, how about this? He's got a boulder with muscular arms. More minerals? Yeah, he's the rock-type gym leader. No, I don't think the kid... All right, he has a fucking bat. He has a poison bat. Is that good enough? All right, yeah. Sure, poison bat. There we go.
Flying minerals.
What's his character like? He's strong-willed. No, that's not gonna. How about he disrespects every woman by being way too forward with like his advances are way too forward.
Yes.
You know what? Fine. Just do what you want, guys.
Got it. No, producer B is excited.
That's not controversial at all.
No, what? That's normal. It's 90s. Women are objects.
So... Yeah, I mean, with this information about the rampaging T-Rex, do you still think they should make this movie? Is this still something you want to see, Briana?
Well, apparently minerals are boring, so I guess not.
No, but you personally, would you be bored by this? Would you? How do you feel? Because I don't want to see them establish the animals at all, but since you do.
I mean, it would be like, even if they could do like another dimension, another reality, which they have done over and over and over again. For example, going back to Pokemon I Choose You, when we did that podcast, they touched on what the world would look like without Pokemon, which is our world. The fact that...
Wait, did you guys notice in the background that the T-Rex rampaging when Ash is looking out over the bridge?
Easter eggs.
No, he's like, well, what's beyond the forest, guys? And they're like, well, more of the same. And what's beyond that? I don't know, Ash. Probably a T-Rex. You've got a T-Rex? Say it again.
Say it. Oh.
We've got a T-Rex.
So when you have a dream, it's based off of things you've already seen and things that you're aware of. So
speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Nurse Joy. Last night all right, calm down, Brock.
Or was it your sister?
Oops, I guess the egg's on my face.
Gross.
Just like my dream last night.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think they've already touched on it, so I'm curious to see like if they are going to match the two worlds. Like, was there a before Pokemon world? Was there a this is all it's ever been? You know, was there a massive war? You know, like all the fan theories and shit. Like, I would love for them to sit down, listen to all the fan theories, and then like write a story about it. You know, the movies, like the last two, the previous one and the one that's coming out right now, I think those are the best movies they have, because I think they're actually finally listening to the fans and what they want to see, what they want to hear. So yes, I would like to know some answers. I would like to know what their reasoning is for why Pokemon are there, and if their world is in fact our world.
So wait, you think the new ones are... I thought this was the best one.
It is the best one, but it'd be nice, you know what I mean? As an adult, watching it as an adult, you know, this movie, like, definitely speaks to my inner child, and this one is definitely my favorite movie growing up as a child. As an adult, movies like Pokemon I Choose You and the new one coming out, I think it's called Our Story, like those ones very much speak to everybody. And I think that resonates more than a movie about, featuring Entei.
So you think basically like they're better films, but your personal attachment to this one makes it your favorite, but you'd say they're the best. Okay. Exactly.
Well, the story that he did end up going with is beautiful. I mean, I really enjoyed the story growing up, the scenes, the animation. It's a good movie, just the relationship between the father and a daughter, how kids' brains work and, just the importance of a parent being there for a child. It's just a great movie, all in all.
Well, this was my first viewing of the movie, and as an adult, I enjoyed it. Yeah, believe it or not,
Craig didn't grow up with Pokemon like us.
I became an adult Pokemon fan, and I am not afraid to admit that.
Yeah, what they ended up doing was they're like, all right, here, make us a movie about these two legendary Pokemon. And they sent him two new legendary Pokemon for the new movie. Entei, all right, checks out. Pretty badass, cool legendary. I could see making a movie.
Big dog.
Unown, the psychic type legendary. From Gold and Silver, yes.
You're talking about that little missing that little glitch guy?
Unown is it's like a hieroglyphic Pokemon. It's like a letter. There's one for each letter of the English alphabet, and it's or the Western alphabet, I guess I'll say, not just the English alphabet, but the Western alphabet. Maybe there's probably a better term for that if I was an actual
Western English
philologist, but I'm not.
American English.
Amateur
alphabet.
Philology is the name of my indie rock album. But
I'll be waiting for that to come out.
Unown, yeah. But as we talked a few episodes ago in the Gold and Silver beta, Unown was originally going to be psychic type, and there's more evidence in this movie. And it's actually really interesting that this movie, they refer to Unown as a legendary all the time. And that is responsible for a lot of confusion. I guess Unown must have originally been intended to be a legendary as well.
And then it just became a common thing?
But yeah, I mean, even one of our listeners just started a new podcast. They just on the second episode or something, they themselves were like, there was much confusion and argument amongst them on whether or not Unown
was a legendary.
Yeah, whether or not it is a legendary. I'll clear this up.
No, I got the movie. See, proof.
As the preeminent authority on the matter, Unown is not a legendary.
The other one's like, no. I have a phone. Google says you're wrong.
Yeah, we're all the preeminent authority on this. Yeah, it's not a legendary, but apparently it was intended to. In this movie, and I guess in the anime canon, it is a legendary. Is there an anime canon? I don't know. It's kind of like Dragon Ball Z. They're like, canon? What?
What you want to...
It's for kids.
Canons for kids.
So basically, the way the movie starts out, you've got that beautiful visual of the sunflowers, and then you see this huge-ass mansion up on a hill, and you just, get a little glimpse into the house. You see this little girl with her father. They're reading a book, and, he's telling her a little bit about the story, and, you're finding out about his job. You're finding out about...
Yeah, he's like a researcher or a professor or something. And...
Yeah, like an archaeologist or...
Yeah. And they're looking at a book of legendary Pokemon.
And he's been hunting them down. It was Entei he said he's been looking for a long time for.
She's like, that's the one you've been looking for. And he's like, yes, ever since. And then he looks off into the distance. I've been looking for Entei ever since. And then, sad piano music starts playing.
And it was never addressed after that point.
Yeah, Molly's mom, we can just talk about this now. Molly's mom is not there. We see photos on her desk which show Delia, Professor Oak, Ash, Spencer, and Molly's mom, and a little baby Molly. No Ash's dad, and nobody seems to care.
Nope, because that's Oak.
But
we all know. Well, actually, fun story about that. I was listening to the commentary of the American writers for the movie, and they were saying that they actually changed the narrative of this from the Eastern to the Western version. And in the Western version, even though it's not even touched upon, in their story, Molly's mother is also a researcher, and she was also researching the unknown and went missing. And, like, we as, like, the viewers never see that part, but that is what their intention was for the Western version.
And but, like, it's only in the promotional materials, though, which it's not in the movie. The movie
her mom?
That her mom was researching the unknown and disappeared. The movie has several points that, like, make it, if you just watch this movie and you don't listen to the commentary or read the promotional materials, like the comic book that you could get at Burger King or whatever, I made that up, but you know what I mean. Like, then there's no evidence that anything happened other than she died. Like, he's like, yes, I've been looking for that Pokemon ever since. And then fades off and gets sad.
Ever since what, man?
And, like, Delia, Ash's mom, is like, hasn't enough happened to them already? And, like,
yeah,
it totally
alludes to it a lot, but doesn't ever
the producer
show anything.
The 4Kids producer or whatever was like, well, the Japanese producers told us that, like, her mom was researching them and disappeared into the unknown dimension. But, like, he's full of shit. Either he's full of shit or they were full of shit and lied to him. Because that's not what the Japanese promotional material says. The Japanese movie, too, if you watch it in Japanese, totally makes it seem like she died. But the Japanese promotional material says that she's in the hospital. That, like, she's sick in the hospital during this whole movie.
Yeah, she's sick.
What?
She's conveniently not there.
That, to me, sounds like somebody in PR was like, nope.
This can't have dead moms. What are you talking?
Yeah, this is a kids movie. We ain't Disney.
This isn't Disney.
Yeah. So and the writer himself, because actually, spoiler alert, in the ending credits, you see her mom, like, or a woman come back, and it's presumed to be her mom.
Seems like it's her mom.
The writer himself
literally see her mouth, mama, like, you know it's her mother.
Yeah, but she also called Delia mom.
Otherwise, it's some random woman he picked up off the street, and she just thinks it's her mom, but we won't get it.
Yeah, any mom will do. Entei proved that.
So you
apparently so.
You lip read this cheap ass fucking animation mouth movements. The Pokemon. All right, yeah, you could tell. I could see the M. I could see the vowel formation in her tongue as she said "mama."
I accept it for canonical purposes.
But even the writer, though, in his blog that we were just talking about a minute ago, was like, I specifically was pissed when they did that because I was like, no, my script, her mom's dead. He says, like, all the horrible things she does in this movie isn't okay if her mom's just sick in the hospital. Like, it's not okay either way, but, you know, like, the whole point of this movie was her mom was dead and now her dad's gone. So she's really fucking acting out. The movie doesn't have that emotional weight if her mom's just sick in the hospital while this is going on. She doesn't have parents. That's the point.
So did they reanimate the end credits then, just for American closure?
Well, no, he just didn't write it into the script, and then the animators added that in the end credits, you know.
You're like, yeah, this is too sad. We gotta, like, bring her back.
And then they, in all the promotional material said, oh yeah, her mom's sick in the hospital. Get the fuck out of here. Moving along, he gets like an email. He's reading to her and he's like, oh, you like Entei, don't you? And she's like, yeah, he's big and strong, but he's nice, just like you, Dad.
Just like you, Daddy.
and he's like, well, then I'm Entei. Oh, and they like jump around the room and play. And she's like, you're Entei. You're Entei.
Is this like their yeah, oh yeah.
And then an email pops up and interrupts him, and she's like, oh, I bet it's your work. It's always your fucking work. And it's like, oh, okay.
Can we just talk about how this email is like the original Skype? Like, video chat was not a thing, and all of a sudden, like, what was this movie, like 2001?
Through email.
Let's like just straight up say it. Pokemon invented like video chatting.
For the second time on this podcast, no, Briana, it didn't. Star Trek had it long before, and I wager H.G. Wells or some old ass motherfucker wrote it in a book before Star Trek did it too.
Yeah, but did they do it through email?
I want to believe this for myself, okay? It was my first time seeing video chatting, so I firmly believe that Pokemon was the...
She's like, and this was before Aragon. Pokemon invented fire-breathing lizards.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, bro. That's right.
So he runs off and investigate. Basically, they're like, you gotta come now. We discovered some new shit in this temple about the unknown. you got to get here now. And he's like, dude, it's a temple, dog. It's still going to be there in the morning. But,
yeah, Molly's like, always go with Skylar.
So he, it was Schulier.
Skylar?
You know what's weird is...
That's how you pronounce Skylar, yes.
They normally they change the characters' names because they are worried that Japanese names are going to be difficult for kids to pronounce. Never mind the fact that kids can pronounce Charizard, but you think they can't pronounce Satoshi. Then get the fuck Kasumi. I guess Kasumi is too hard for a kid.
That's weird and different.
Which is why they throw in, instead of rice balls, they're jelly-filled donuts. Because kids just can't understand that you can put rice in a ball.
Yeah, people eat a rice cake. I mean, choke on it, but still eat it.
In this movie, that character's name was John in the Japanese version, and Spencer's name was like William or something. Like they were both just American names, and they were like, "Nah, we'll take it from here, guys."
Well, here's my question, because I know they do like Kun and San for the names. Do they do that to match the lip flaps, you think?
I don't know. Maybe that was it, to add another syllable, because they're like John Kun or John-san.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got to have a 2-syllable name.
Skylar.
Schulier. And Schulier. I don't even know how to pronounce Schulier because it's spelled Schuyler, right? Isn't that how you spell that name? But it's pronounced like the L comes before the Y. So get the fuck out of here, white people.
You see, when the Y comes before the L.
This is a new rule that we're learning.
Oxford said it best.
One of the interesting things that actually comes back later is what he says to Molly before he leaves, which is "keep me close in your dreams." And I kind of like how they say that specifically, and it'll come up again later on. It's just a very sweet, I love you, have a good night.
Yeah,
it's nice.
So Spencer leaves to go figure out the disturbance, and while he's in the temple,
well, it wasn't a disturbance. They just discovered new shit in the temple.
Oh, yeah, that.
I'm sorry, but I would not go to a temple in the middle of the night, especially if it's some Egyptian pyramid. I've seen enough of those movies where they have all the booby traps and shit. Why would you go in the middle?
They don't have booby traps.
Plus, I bet the neighborhood is too dangerous.
I don't know. When I was younger, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go." I'm not worried about booby traps, but I don't know. I guess it depends on the temple, because I've seen.
It depends on the temple.
I've seen some shit, man, and I don't want to encounter some unknown unknowns in that temple.
Oh well, you'll encounter some he encounters some unknowns in the temple.
Yeah, so he finds this little box, which magically changes size in each part of the movie. It's fine. First, it's this little box. And then it's this huge box. And then it's back to the little box.
So it's just continuity errors. It's not actually a magical box. Or maybe it is.
It's depth perception.
It doesn't make sense. So it's full of Legos. Tiles with little unknown symbols.
I bet it hurts like a bitch if you step on it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it's not Legos. It's Scrabble tiles.
Yeah, and he can't understand what they are. But obviously we know it's the alphabet. Even Molly picks up on that right away. But they're like, what is this?
What are letters?
So he brings them to the temple, and there's some type of reaction between these tiles and this new chamber they discovered. And this weird portal to unknown space opens up, and all these unknowns swarm out.
Oh, that makes more sense. I thought it was a Speed Force.
Yeah, and then Barry Allen, that's his name, right?
Yeah. No, Wally's like, guys. And they're like, oh no, wrong movie, Wally, wrong franchise, go.
Did I get his name right?
Wally West and Barry Allen.
No, I didn't say Wally West.
But Wally West was the one stuck in the Speed Force.
Well, did I? Is that what I'm asking about when I say did I get his name right? Do you think I'm asking about Wally what motherfucking West?
Barry Allen?
Yes. Are you proud of me?
I'm sorry. I let it slide. That's wow. You should know that you got it right, I didn't correct you.
I need positive reinforcement.
Good naders. So Wally West takes Spencer into the Speed Force with him, and then
you gotta help me save Batman's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, how great would it be if we replace Molly with Batman in this movie?
Well, she is now feeling. She
Papa.
knows.
Papa.
So,
Are you my papa? If that's what you wish.
so now.
Best crossover episode ever.
Yeah, come on, Craig. You're glossing over this too easily. You should be into this idea. Batman in the place of Molly.
I'm trying
in this
to
movie.
be good. Molly says, "Justice never takes a break."
Master Bruce, my DVR is covered in crystals.
My name's Molly.
Get out of here, Alfred. My name's Molly. The big fire dog shit on my rug. There is no fire dog. It's my dad.
It's just my dad. Dr. Leslie, we're going to need you to come in quick. Bruce is having a severe chaotic break.
There is no Dr. Leslie. That's my mom.
Any woman will do.
So it's sucked into the vortex, and it's the unknown, and it's like a play on words. Because you're like, oh yeah, we don't know where the fuck you're going for the entire movie. So yes, it's unknown to us.
Yeah, they make way too many plays on words on unknown and Wade.
Wade? That was not the one I thought you were going to say.
We're walking to the stream, then they're waiting.
So it cuts back to Molly, and it's like she feels something is wrong. Because, like, I don't know, she knows her dad's gone. And then, the guys are like, your dad's gone.
That's exactly how they break into it. They come in, they're like, your dad's gone.
Your dad has died.
He dead.
Papa, no dead. And so then, all this, I guess they explain it as psychic energy that the unknowns bring meet with, her dreams or something.
Yeah, she takes the tiles.
Oh, yeah, she gets the Scrabble tiles herself because she's like, nah, I'm going to find Dad.
Fun story about this, too, in the Japanese version, because she's spelling out, she's like, they're just like letters, and she's the only person that, realizes that they're letters. She spells out Papa and Mama, and then she says, and they're together with me. Now, when I was listening to the commentary, Molly's name in the Japanese version is Me, so they didn't have to read
May.
Because of that. So I think that's pretty fascinating. Her name is literally Me.
May. It'd be pronounced May. It's M-E, but it's May.
Well, and that's how they pronounced it, so.
Wait, did the writers pronounced it Me?
They pronounced it Me, I shit you not, so.
Well, maybe it is Me, but if it's Me, it's M-I. If it's May.
Right.
I don't remember. I watched the Japanese version, and I just remember reading the subtitles said May, M-E, and I assumed it was May, and
yeah.
I don't know. I guess I wasn't listening.
Maybe
close
they're
enough.
doing an Americanish.
It was a fan sub, so I don't know. But yeah, she like Scrabble tiles them together to say like Mama, Papa, and Me, and like yeah, as you said, May, Me.
Triple word score, Entei.
So yeah, no, it is May. Then yeah. They may have done that on purpose then in Japan. That was probably a deliberate choice. No pun intended with the may have done that. Actually, it was intended. And yes, that was probably a deliberate pun intended in the movie too, so that they wouldn't have to change the visuals in the European and American release because they knew they were going to release it in... Yeah.
It's so funny how they reanimate scenes, too, to fit, like, what they want for the story. Like, can you imagine, like, finishing the movie in Japanese, and then you take it to the West Side, and they're like, hey, so, can you reanimate half the scenes for us? Because we decided to change your original story.
Wait, do they do that?
It just doesn't make sense to American kids. No, they actually do it all the time.
Reanimate, or do they just re-edit and recut the movie?
They also have reanimated. There are scenes in the anime itself where they have changed. I mean, now they stopped doing it, thankfully, so it's true to its original. But they would change it so the Japanese, like a store name or something, would be changed to English.
Oh, yeah, but they don't...
They go through and reanimate.
They don't need to, like, reanimate, like, get new... They just... I mean, they can do that on a computer, like, reanimating. I thought... But, like, as far as, like... having the animators reconstruct entire scenes, I don't think they do. I think they would just recut, re-edit, or make little digital edits like that,
Yeah.
I would imagine. The trailer for this movie, though, because in Japan, they animate an entire trailer, as we discussed in the Mewtwo episode. Well, it's because the movie hasn't been animated yet, so they just make a trailer. And Mewtwo was in the trailer for this movie.
So then they fucked it up. They should have put Mewtwo in it.
And the T-Rex.
And bet your ass the T-Rex.
There is no T-Rex. It's my dad.
It's-
Best crossover ever.
So yeah, she puts together the tiles. They start glowing. The Unown come and they're like, all right, whatever, basically whatever Molly wants. They're like, they have this connection with her, and
it's like a psychic thing.
Yeah, it's like a psychic connection, and whatever she wants or dreams of, they sort of make real. And they start swarming around her and forming this like formation, and the entire mansion just starts turning to crystal.
Yeah, and another thing they did too, the part where she's reading the book and the Unown are surrounding her, you hear her father saying, I'm like Entei, huh? Well, then I am Entei. They actually added that narrative in there in the English version to make it easily understood by children. She's so upset, she said, Papa, please come back. And then the Unown take that to the next level, and they like want to be there for this girl. They want to help this girl.
They did a lot of that in the English version. Molly's a lot quieter in the Japanese version too. They added a lot of lines for her. In the scene we were just talking about, especially actually, with her like, maybe if I put our names together and with these tiles and like, you know.
Gotta narrate everything we do in the English version, otherwise the kids just don't get it.
Kids are dumb.
So yeah, the entire mansion starts over, like just basically turning into crystal. And Entei shows up, and she's
How's
like,
it going, girl?
She's like,
What can I do for you?
Dad? And he's like,
Sure.
Nah, I'm Entei. Yeah, sure. If that's what you want to call me.
If that's your kink.
All right. Let's not.
She's 5.
I am here to protect you.
Yeah, and it's an Entei, and she's like, you must be my dad, because he was saying he's Entei when we were playing, and he's like, if that's what you wish. And she's like, sure, so you're my dad.
And he says, why not? And then...
It's just funny to me, because, like, Entei's design itself kind of looks like a dad, because, like, that little, like, mess he's got on his nose looks like a mustache.
Right.
So, like, I can see it. He's got a mustache. He must be my dad.
Cut to Ash, Misty, and Brock. I would love if Ash, when he encountered Entei, was like, Dad? I don't think Professor Oak is Ash's dad, for the record. I just want to make that clear that my stance, as far as I'm concerned, the official Silph Radio stance is just that Delia and Oak are fucking. Whether or not he is his dad, there is no official Silph Radio stance. But me personally, I think my stance on that, my personal stance, is that it's part of Oak's complex is that he's screwing Ash's mom, you know?
Yeah.
So like...
But not the father.
Gotta get in with the kid to get in with the mom, you know? Gotta make it look good. So, one of the things I love about the Pokemon movies is they cue in the theme song with a battle scene. And it's like a poppy, upbeat version, you know, very like 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I hate that about the Pokemon movies.
You hate that?
Yes, that's what I said in our newest one about the Pikachu I Choose You or whatever movie, that I was happy that I was like, see, they redid it, but this is the song I want to hear. Don't give me some poppy in-sync cover of it. Like, come on.
Oh, so it's the song that bothers you, not the fact that they're like, a forced battle scene.
It's a whole new world we live in. Like, yeah, get the fuck out of ooh, ooh. A Pokemon Johto. Get the fuck out of here, dude. This is not battle music.
Gotta catch 'em all.
When I was a kid, I was jamming out to that shit. I would watch those scenes over and over again and just be like, just so excited, you know, just watching it.
In your Squirtle costume, like squirt, squirt, Squirtle, singing along.
Get out of here. It's Totodile time.
Throwback. Oh, those are good times.
Yeah, they meet this lady with an A-palm, and she battles Ash. He's like, well, get ready, because I always play to win. No, you actually don't. You legit don't always play to win.
If that is what you've been doing? You are bad at it.
Lisa's voice actress is in like every Pokemon. Like she's been there throughout the entirety of the anime and the movie.
Why was it fucking Veronica Taylor? They only pay like 4 people to do these voices, right?
No, it's not Veronica. I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's been there since like day one, and she's even in the newer episodes in Sun and Moon. It's crazy.
Oh wow! So they didn't fire her, so she kept her job.
Yeah, exactly.
But Eric Stewart, Veronica Taylor, they all got the boot.
Well, Eric Stewart kept hitting on all the female voice actresses, I'm sure. So.
Boo!
They never met each other, you said. You said they never met. You said they never met. Don't slander the dude's name.
I know. He's a good guy. I was joking about, I was trying to make a joke.
I know. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
I was booing him. I was like, I'm standing up for the women.
Yeah, for real. It's 2018. You can't joke about him like that. Like,
I know. Someone's going to get offended.
well, somebody's going to like start tweeting harassing tweets at him about how he's a misogynist, and he'll be like, what did I do?
Fake news.
It's fake news.
So speaking of Rock, of course he's hitting on her. You know, she makes the joke with Ash. She's like, hey, you got to be in my league first. And Rock's like, I want to be your boyfriend. And, you know, no, I'm good. Like, she straight up was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I love it. She's like, oh, no, word, that's cool. But anyway, you got to be in my league. That's what it was, because he goes, she goes, are any of you looking to battle? And he goes, yeah, I could use a warm-up before I go battle the Johto League. And then he runs up and he's like, I want to be your boyfriend. And she's like, or no, he already said he wanted to be her boyfriend. And then, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I clumsily handled this. I'm gonna give the hosting reins over to Craig now for the remainder of this episode.
This is a first. I'm the one hosting Silph Radio. Poop, poop, poop.
And I take them back now. So
it was a big responsibility, much bigger than I expected.
Ash is a horrible trainer. I'm sorry to keep harping on this, but every time he beats one of her Pokemon, he withdraws his Pokemon.
He's fair.
Wait to see who she sends out, and your Pokemon is in good condition. Why are you withdrawing it already?
I think that the entirety of the movie is like that.
It is!
Honestly, I think it's literally just to showcase, these are the Pokemon they have currently. Let's show them in the movie. Because that's what they do in those beginning scenes. They either say, everybody come out, cue pop music. These are all the Pokemon we have. You know, sell the toys, sell the merchandise, and then they do that with the battle scenes as well. So I think it's literally just to showcase what they have currently.
It may be maybe that's the standard in the anime world. I don't know, because I haven't watched enough of the anime and thought about it in that perspective.
Everybody just starts anew after each battle.
I don't think
Pokemon.
but they don't.
It makes an appearance as well, you know, and that's to market. You know, Charizard's cool as shit, and they're like, well, he's got to come back in this movie.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
This movie is over 20 years old. If you want it, almost 20 years old.
I don't know. I still think Ash is just a bad trainer. And Misty's like, this is Ash's 5th battle this week. Your Pokemon must be tired. And Ash is like, yeah.
Each one comes out with 1 HP.
Your 5th battle this week, huh? Man, you really are out there training hard, aren't you?
Hardly training.
So yeah, they ask if there's a Pokemon Center, and she's like, oh, there's one in Greenfield. And Misty's like, everyone's heard of Greenfield. Oh, slow down there, Misty.
Please elaborate. Is this field green? Is it? It's a beautiful place. Is it a play on the town? Is the town called Greenfield because it's an icy wasteland?
Well, supposedly it's just like a beautiful town of like valleys of flowers just beyond the mountains. They're like, everything's beautiful in Greenfield, and Brock's like, everything's beautiful in Greenfield, huh? All right, calm down, Brock.
Put it away.
You're allowed to hit on one thing, man.
This is him being good.
They're not things. Oh, he's learning.
Cue them running up the hill all excited, and then they see, you know, this giant flower crystal massive thing that you to be a mansion.
And they're like, Whereas if I was Ash, I would be like, whoa, that's crazy. You're right.
That's
Greenfield
cool
is
as
beautiful.
fuck.
And then they gotta be like, no, it's not supposed to look like that. No, actually, one of my favorite parts of the movie is that when we see Team Rocket and Jessie goes, I actually had to write down the exact line here too, as she goes,
Yes.
Greenfield is just how I've always imagined it. Beautiful fields of flowers that turn into a bizarre crystal wasteland that obliterates the entire way. Hold the fuck up. What?
Oh, did Mr. Freeze come to town?
Yeah, Team Rocket is useless but funny in this movie, I have to say.
They do have some lines.
Exactly.
I'll give them that. They don't seem to have a real purpose except to save things.
So the news shows up, and Officer Jenny shows up, and Brock's like, Officer Jenny! And it's like, calm down, Brock. Calm down. She ain't even in this movie. I don't know why they even...
They just showed her. They tried her out there.
Yeah, that was just to tease you. And the news shows up and starts broadcasting, and we learn that Molly's dad is named Spencer Hale, and he was Oak's best student. We see Ash's mom freaking out and worrying, and she runs off like, I gotta go see what's up. And Oak's like, yeah, you've known him since you were a young girl, huh? And she's like, yes, I have. And he's like,
Small world.
Well, I don't. And she's like, I'm gonna go help him. And he's like, I thought you would go. I thought you would go help him. That's nice. I hope you guys have fun. I actually, yeah. He's like, I think I was gonna go too. And she's like, oh, what a surprise. Can't you just let me go see if my old friend's doing all right? He was my student. Yeah, so was I. Well, okay, you guys let me know if he's okay. Make sure you don't forget to text me while you're there with him.
And I gotta say, it seems like they're not too far away from where Ash's home is, because they seem to get there pretty quick.
They're probably not, because he just finished his...
he just made the loop back around home,
Yeah.
So he's like probably only 2 towns over.
He hasn't gone to Johto yet, right?
Okay.
No, he has gone to Johto because he's got the...
Yeah.
He's got Totodile, Cyndaquil, Chikorita,
He's come back.
Shiny Noctowl.
Bulbasaur. Of course, he's got to bring 2 low-level baby grass Pokemon. It's just strategically sound, you know?
Why not?
So Ash, Lisa, Misty, and Brock and them. Lisa's now just traveling with them because let's throw in another useless
Sure.
character. Why? I don't know. Marketing.
Just for the movie, it's fine.
I really think it is marketing. I think it is to be like, we got to have another character to market and sell toys for and put on the poster.
Were there Lisa toys?
Probably. I just mean, I don't know. I just mean the imagery of like, here's the new characters, I think is just a thing to promote the anime-ness of the movie, you know?
I think you're just using her for her Pokegear.
Yeah, and that too, to promote the
Yeah,
Pokegear.
definitely.
We don't even have to mention the Pokegear in the narrative. We can talk about it now because it's literally just to market the gimmick for the new games coming out.
They should have just given him the Pokegear. Like, one of them could have been just like, here, and just completely done without the character.
Yeah, basically Takeshi Shudo, the writer, got a call one day. He got an email, and it was like, Pidgey, Pidgey, Pidgey. And he was like, oh, answer.
Video email.
And they were like, Takeshi-san, we need you to add in the Pokegear. And he's like, what's that? And they're like, it's basically just, it's like email. It works just how email works. And he's like, oh, so just nebulous, nondescript, futuristic technology? And they're like, yes, exactly. It's for communication. And he's like, yep. So he's like, all right, cool. Well, what random part of the script have I gotten to in my writing? All right, this is the point I'm at. I'll just have her run up and give it to Ash at the point I am at in the script right now. And then move the fuck on. So now we've mentioned it. We don't have to derail the narrative with it like they did in the fucking movie. Anyway. Molly, cut back to Molly. Molly's like, you know, Entei, I kind of wish Dad, I kind of wish I had a mom too. And Entei's like, if that's what you wish, it is what I wish. Did you fucking hear what I said?
Did I stutter?
Did I say later or did I say now? And he's like,
get me a mama.
He's like, damn, you didn't say later or now. Hold up, I'll go. Jesus.
You just...
So Professor Oak and Delia roll up, and I love how every time Ash's mom appears in a movie, like Ash is the afterthought. Like they show up and Ash is like, oh my god, it's these people I know. And then, like, you know...
Yeah, she's like, hi, Pikachu.
Hi, Pikachu.
And it's like, and then Ash is like, hi, Mom. He's like, oh, hi. Like,
And she's like, oh, you brought Misty and Brock. And Lisa. And he's like, yeah, this is my new friend Lisa.
That's good, dear. Well, Pikachu, I haven't seen you so long.
And they're like, well, actually, it's great because they're like, we didn't expect to see you here. That's what Delia says to them. And Oak is there, and Brock's like, I knew you'd come, or something, because they're like, we didn't expect to see you either. But when Oak's like, yeah, I had to follow Delia when she went to come see Spencer to research the Unown. And he's like, yeah, I thought you would. I thought you'd come.
They're just hanging out, and she pulls out the picture, and you can tell Ash is much younger. Molly is like a baby. She's like 5 in the movie, but she like looks the same. Like her hair's slightly shorter, and she has like a big head, but you can't really tell. But you know, obviously she's got to be like half of Ash's age. So
right,
yeah, reminds you how young Ash is. And they're just sitting there eating, and the Entei runs up and is like, all right, bitch, you're coming with me. And she's like,
are you my mother?
She's like, hold on, we're having a nice dinner. What are you? And Oak's like, you can't just ask him what he is. Excuse me, are you a boy or a girl?
Neither. I am Entei, and I need a mommy.
So it takes Delia, and Oak's like, hey, that's my mom. You can't take her. This is your mother? No, she's not like my mother, not like biologic. Okay.
It's just a little thing we say in the bedroom.
He hypnotizes her, and she's like, I'm Molly's mom now. And Oak's like, okay, I can improv with that. I can roll with that. And
then I'll be the stepdad.
Yes, and sure.
Yes, keep it going.
And so they take her away, and so Molly's like, oh man, Entei, can't we just stay here forever? And he's like, I guess if that's what you want. And he makes all this crystal just keep spreading out and taking over, like, and building these big fortress so nobody can get through. The bulldozers can't get through.
Okay, so I just want to say at this point in the movie, I don't know if I'm just not doing a good job as a fan paying attention along, or if this was the intention. I wasn't sure yet if Entei was really Entei or if it was just a fabrication of the Missing Now.
They never make a point of clearly stating. They allude to it, and then before they've ever actually stated that that's the fact, suddenly Ash is just like, you ain't a real Entei. You just a dream. And you know what, Molly? Give the fuck up on your dreams. Yeah, I'll say it. You know what? That's the most, we're jumping ahead, but this is the most character progression Ash has ever had. He's like, you need to give up on your dreams.
Wait a second. Was this really the message you wanted to send to children?
I'm finally changing my deeply held beliefs on dreams. Sometimes dreams need to be given up on. All right. So, you know what else we didn't mention is that Charizard, you said Charizard's in it. That's when Charizard's in it, is not only do Delia and Oak see it on the news, cut to the Characific Valley. Brilliant. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, keep doing, you're doing your thing. Keep going.
City.
Keep going, writers. Characific Valley. Yeah, you're doing your thing.
So,
keep doing you.
Did I miss a moment?
Charizard sees it on the news.
Did I miss a moment in a previous movie where Charizard left Ash to go be with Lady Charizard?
Yes, you did. You missed it. But
episode, I missed it too. I knew that he was gone at one point.
But yeah, I'm not joking. Charizard saw it on the news too.
Yeah,
it sounds like a joke I'd make.
No,
but it's not.
It's totally real on the Rock television in the volcano that they live in a cute little volcano house.
It's
a living.
No, that's Well, I was trying to do the dinosaurs theme and I lost it. I started doing the Bulk and Skull theme. It's very similar. Yeah, all right, yeah. Let's not keep going. Oh man.
Just keep bobbing your head. You all can hear it now.
I stopped listening to Silph Radio halfway through. They just started singing the dinosaur theme song, and I just lost interest.
That's what I do every episode.
Once they get to the dinosaur theme song, it's just like that's what I tune out.
Not the mama. It all comes full circle.
Yeah, it really does.
So, cut to Professor Oak and Spencer's partner. What's his name? Schulier?
I'm going to call him Skylar. You can call him whatever you want.
John. His name's John in the Japanese. John-san. John-tron.
No. Oh, put that one back in the box. Back onto the shelf. That sounds bad too.
So they're theorizing about like the relationship between Entei and the Unown, and like he's like, I think the Unowns are in that mansion, and Tracy's like, what about the unknown? And he's like, oh, let's get Tracy his American Comedy Award. Let's all celebrate how funny he is.
But if there's no knowns and unknown missing knowns,
oh yes, it's even funnier the second time, Tracy. And but no, they're theorizing that like the Unown can like make their own realities, and they're making the crystal and the Entei and all that like from her imagination,
Yeah, so it seems like...
And Oak's like, I wish Entei was my dad. And Tracy's like, what? And he's like, nothing.
Go draw Caterpie.
Go draw yourself.
You keep doing this, I'm going to leave. Yeah, right.
So we get to move along with Team Rocket as they're posing as a threat, I guess, because they think there's rare Pokemon inside the castle.
Yeah, that's all they do in they're like, ooh, we should follow Ash. There's probably rare Pokemon there if Ash is going there.
So then he could stop us yet again.
And yeah, they like, basically Ash, Misty, and Brock sneak into the mansion. They like follow it. The crystal didn't disturb the flowing water. This is actually foreshadowing. That's easy to miss. There's a stream and the crystal didn't ice over, I guess.
Oh yeah, that was the waiting part.
Yeah, and then they cut through and they're like, if they're waiting, they're walking. I watched this movie 3 times to prepare, and I hated that part every time.
If they're waiting, they're walking.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, without the clever banter, like, what's the point of Team Rocket other than to?
Well, once they follow Ash, Misty, and Brock into the mansion, and then they see the swarm of Unown, they do have another, I think, the highlight of the movie, when James is like, I haven't seen that many strange letters since I placed a personal ad. James, you're perfect, James. You're perfect. I'm obsessed with you. Keep doing you.
Is this the point where we actually give him the Real American Comedy Award?
Yes. Don't ever change, James. I change 5 times a day.
Various gendered outfits.
We should introduce him to the dean from Community.
Oh my god. Oh man, would Jeff Rash? Is that his name? Jim Rash. Schulier. Schulier Rash.
That sounds like something that a fungal cream can take care of. Yeah, my Schulier Rash is acting up.
We need to do a podcast just on James's outfits.
That's a long podcast.
Big order.
You guys don't have the qualifications. All right, I'm actually lost. Where the fuck are we? I wrote notes. Just let me find where we are in the narrative. I don't know where this was, but I wrote in my notes something that actually made me laugh was this point where they're like, when they see Ash on the news, that's when Charizard comes. Because Charizard sees Ash on the news and he's like, oh shit. But when they see Ash on the news sneaking into the mansion, someone goes, that boy's looking for trouble. I think it's Oak or Misty or... It's Oak. He goes, that boy's looking for his mom. Oh, sick bird. Right up here, Tracy. Oh, too slow. You missed. Go draw fucking Squirtle. Go draw Poliwag, you little bitch. Just because I'm a dude, you can't just call me a bitch. That's not funny. It's not okay.
Words hurt.
So backtracking for a second, Molly sends them an email as they're researching the unknown. And
Molly's a boss with computers. Like earlier in it, she's like going through her dad's files. Like, let's figure out where he disappeared. Like, and again, in the Japanese version, with her being much more quiet and taking into account the direction her character takes from here,
Well, they never told you, but she is actually an experienced computer hacker.
She
had like no trouble getting into those files and shit. That's crazy.
Not a bad character. One of the stronger characters from the Pokemon movies, I'll say. But go on, please.
Oh yeah. So she insists, she's like, hey, we're doing just fine. My mama and papa are here. Just leave us alone. And then Professor Oak's like, wait, her mother and father are with her? And they're like, what the fuck? And then Lisa goes, what about her mom? Like, she like actually makes a point to say, does anyone know about her mom? Anybody?
And then it trails off.
And
what about her mom? Nothing.
The foreshadowing about the water was that's how they got into the mansion, though, was they melted the crystal with fire by having Vulpix and Cyndaquil team up, and then they had Staryu and Totodile team up and use the running water to keep that hole open.
Yes,
because it wouldn't close around the running water, and then they all like went through it.
The water slide of a lifetime. I can't believe we missed that part.
So they run in and they find this like beautiful field of flowers, and they realize that they're in like the reality that the Unown are creating. Like Oak said, they can create their own realities, and they're actually creating a new reality from Molly's dreams for her to inhabit.
Backtracking again, you gotta remember Delia's hypnotized. There is a scene too, like when they're watching him climb up the waterfall, that he tricks and turns, and then she snaps out of her hypnosis.
Oh.
She's aware.
It's
just momming it up. No problem.
She seems to be like slipping in and out of awareness. Like she knows something's not right, but she doesn't know what it is. And she sees Ash. She's like, Ash, get down from there. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like,
I guess I'll play along.
No, I think no.
Oh, she's
like, I don't know what I meant by that. That was weird. Like, that's kind of how I take it. And she's like, what is going? Are you my kid? You called me mom. Why did I yell at that kid why did I yell at him like he's my kid? Like, that's sort of how I took it. Like, she's too smart to not get, because let's face it, she is one of the smartest characters in the anime. She's too smart to not get that something's off and something's wrong, and her brain's picked up on that. So yeah, Molly sees Ash and she's excited because he's a Pokemon trainer, and she's like, I want to be in a Pokemon battle, but I'm probably like, oh man. And that's so great because like you could do a great like take on this character. Like, she is sadistic, like because she's clearly got some problems, and what she's doing is not okay, and she's got something mentally. She's like displacing, I don't know the words, but you know what I mean. And
she's been through trauma. The
fact that she sees Ash, take it from this perspective, like, oh, he's a Pokemon trainer, I want to battle him. Oh fuck, what is she gonna do to him? Like,
I must break him.
Yeah. And so she's like, I'm probably not old enough to battle, huh? And Entei's like, if you wish you were, you will be. So he makes her actually 18, according to the promotional materials. Like, now he makes her an adult. She comes out into this field that Ash and Misty and Brock stumbled upon.
Hello!
And she's like, ooh, you're a Pokemon trainer. I want to battle. And Ash is like, where's my mom? And she's like, no, forget, I want to battle. We're going to battle now. And he's like, no, where the fuck is my mom? And she's like, you're boring. What about you guys? Do either of you want to battle? And he's like, all right, fuck you. Entei, where's my mom? And she's like, no, there is no Entei. That's my dad.
That's my dad.
I love how Brock's the one that cuts in, and like they don't really know who she is, and Missy's like, "There's no way this can be Professor Oak's daughter. She's too."
Well, yeah, he's like, well, because he goes, he goes, hey Molly, and then she's like, that can't be Molly, Brock. She's too old, and Brock's like, age is just a number. And calm down, Brock.
I love this battle scene. The Pokemon like just come out of nowhere. She gets, of course, the cute little Pokemon. She's got Teddy Ursa, Flappy, and what's the other one?
An Oshawott? No.
No. Too soon. Phanpy.
A Phanpy, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is cool. The way they show off the Pokemon is cool. And I mean, even earlier in the battle, Pikachu tries to electrocute Quagsire in the opening battle because it's very obviously a water Pokemon. So Pikachu's like, pfft, check this out. And then it's like, oh shit, because it's a ground and water Pokemon. Right. I like that. And then in this, it's cool because her Pokemon, because they're created from her dreams, are more powerful. Even though it's a Phanpy, it's able to do a little rollout and send Brock's Onix fucking flying. Also, Brock is a fucking horrible trainer too, because he's like, all right, I'm going to battle and try to stall you while Ash and Misty look for Ash's mom. So he sends out his Zubat.
He's got 3 Pokemon.
Full picks and Onyx.
And he's not only that, he suggests a 3-on-3. Oh, I only have three Pokemon. Brock, in the fucking Japanese dub too, he's like, I want to be the greatest Pokemon breeder of all time.
Breeder.
And she's like, word, we're in the middle of a battle. Thanks for shouting that out, apropos of nothing. Like, what the fuck? What? You're weird.
About how he's openly hitting on her the entire time too. Like, he's openly hitting on her.
Yeah.
Like, he knows she's 5. Like an adult to me.
Objectification.
If there's grass on the field, Brock. I'm talking about the dreamscape, guys. What do you mean?
Looks like somebody needs to chill out. Hit him with the ice crystals, Entei.
So Ash and Misty, as Ash and Misty are trying to run up and find Ash's mom, there's a cutscene where you have Delia and Molly wakes up for a moment, and Delia is looking through the book that her father read to her, and she's asking her questions about it.
So is that what's going on, is when Molly's asleep, that's when they're fighting Dream Molly, and then when she wakes up?
Yes.
Because she wakes up in between, she beats Brock.
Yeah.
And then after this scene, she goes and challenges them, and Misty fights her, you know. So, like, in this in-between scene, she wakes up, and then she's like, all right, I'm about to crash again.
I'm tired.
What the fuck happens to Brock and Misty after that? You know what I mean? Like, are they just wandering around the mansion? Because they reappear later, but I don't know how they get to where they're going after.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to catch up, but they're just like in the background catching up somewhere, like fumbling around till they all meet up somewhere.
I actually don't mind. I watched it 3 times and that didn't bother me. I'm not saying you guys are wrong, but I'll say from my critical perspective, that's one point where I think the filmmaking probably went right then, if that is a continuity error.
If it's necessary, right?
But like if that's kind of like, wait, how the fuck did they, and I didn't notice, then that's good filmmaking. So I'll give them a point for that on my critical review at the end. I'll add 1 point to the positive side.
So back to Delia and Molly, one of the points she makes, you know, she's talking to her and she's like, you're by yourself a lot, aren't you? And she said, yeah, you know, you must get lonely up here. And she's trying to rationalize, like, you know, being a mom, just trying to figure out, like, why the fuck did you think this Pokemon's your father, kidnap me, are convinced, even though you've met me before and know that I'm not your mother, that I am your mother. Like, she's just trying to get to the bottom of it, you know, and she's a smart woman. Who goes for older men. It happens.
And so then Molly, you know, teleports down and battles Misty, which again, that's a battle. That's actually a really cool battle because Misty's like, I'm a gym leader. I'm a water gym leader. And she's like,
wow, that's cool.
Word. Well, so you can be young and be a gym leader, right? I'm going to turn back to a kid.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And she's like, well, if you train water type, then I'll only battle with water type. Yo, check this out. Snaps her fingers and fucking water just comes rushing in and starts flooding the place. And Misty's like, oh shit, holds her breath. The water rushes over them. Ash is running off to find his mom. She's distracting her just like Brock did. And Molly's like, so let's battle. And Misty's like, oh shit, we can talk underwater? Oh, all right, let's do it. And it is actually really cool. I like that.
The amazing music they had in this fight scene, it was like underwater, like kind of techie, and then you have like the Jaws thing happening in the middle of it. Like, I love that shit.
I do like a lot of these battles.
The Japanese soundtrack was better, I'll say. The music was
it?
Yeah, they had a full score. And it's kind of lame. It was great. It was a full score inspired by the video game and everything.
I'll have to listen to that. That sounds amazing. And then we just ripped off Jaws. I love it.
But that's what the Americans do. They rip themselves off.
But yeah, you like the battles?
Yeah, no. It showcases like what these Pokemon can actually do and how these moves might actually look in the real world. You know, and they're like fighting underwater, and like when you play one of the Pokemon games and you're fighting water Pokemon, you actually looks like everybody's underwater in the game.
Right.
You know? So it kind of like gave that feel like, but it's safe. It's in another mindscape.
Yeah. So Ash finds his mom, and Delia's like, yo, Molly, I'm not your real mom. I'm Ash's mom. They try to convince Molly, like, yo, you gotta stop. Like, come on, let it. And she's like, no, I don't wanna.
Don't you remember, Molly? I used to play with you.
So Ash is like, all right, Mom, we gotta jet. So they start running, and Entei shows up and just like brings up this like wall of crystal between them.
Where are you going with my wife?
And yeah, he's like, get the fuck out. I'm Molly's dad. That's Molly's mom. you need to fucking leave. And Ash is like, oh yeah? Well, one day I'm going to be the greatest Pokemon trainer in the world.
Silence.
And he's like, that's not going to convince me otherwise. Why do you seem to think that statement is going to convince people to change their plans? Child, get the fuck out. And he's like, well, how about some of this? And he throws out his Totodile.
Oh, that's cute. You're using some of your first stage evolutions against me, a legendary.
I love how he literally sounds like Donald Duck. Like, they were like, what kind of noise would the alligator make? Well, let's do a Donald Duck impression and roll with it. We'll go with it.
Right? So Totodile hits him with a fucking water jet gun, whatever motherfucking attack, and it doesn't work. So Ash is like,
I do not like to get wet.
Yeah. And Ash is like, all right, well, damn, I guess Totodile didn't work against that fire-type Pokemon. So Totodile return, go Cyndaquil! If your water-type Pokemon couldn't hurt it, why the fuck you think Cyndaquil's gonna hurt it?
Child, you said you were going to be the greatest trainer. I'll give you a second to retract this Pokemon and bring out another one. Probably
Go
something-
Chikorita! Okay, I'm just gonna kill your Chikorita. You're cool with that?
I will stomp on it.
It's going to die, and it will never be seen again. This
Don't
is,
use... No,
this
Vine
some,
Whip,
This
no.
is some Nuzlocke shit. Are you okay with that?
Honestly, though, it's so funny to me whenever I see a grass type being attacked by a fire type, because in real life...
You sadistic fuck.
Like, how do you get around that? Like, that's the reality of it.
Not like this. No.
So Ash is like, you're not even a real Entei. You're just an illusion. And Entei's like, yes, I am. I'm an Entei. I'm her dad. And
Like, talk about that Ash actually makes a profound point and is aware of what's going on for once in his life. Like,
Yeah.
Yo, brother's woke.
it's really be a dreamscape because Ash is making sense.
and this is the one time he drops his like ideology that he clings to like a badge of never give up on your dreams or I will fight you. And
He's gonna have his mom around. His mom makes him smarter, I swear.
People literally have to be deluded in their own dream world for Ash to, like, make sense.
he's then he can relate.
Oh, I get it.
He's like, I can relate, actually, because I'm deluded in my own dream world, too. And they're like, Ash, you're fine. Misty's like, Ash, you're finally admitting it. Will you finally go see a therapist like I've been asking? And then maybe we can finally... And he's like, yes, Misty. Back when I saw Ho-Oh, the rainbow wing. And she's like, all right. And he's like, ever since I've been in a coma. All right, Ash, with your fan theory. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get your mom and go. It doesn't matter if I get my mom because I am in a coma. Ash, let's go. Not a fucking coma. All right. So when Ash accuses the Entei of being an illusion, the Entei gets like defensive as fuck. Literally, as well as figuratively. And it starts and offensive as fuck and just starts attacking. And it knocks Ash and Pikachu clear out of the mansion, the Crystal Mansion, the Crystal Tower. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's like, I am nobody's fiction. I am real.
Going back to the title, it was the Lord of the Unknown Tower. That was the English working title.
Yeah, they actually had a trailer with that in it.
That makes more sense.
And of course, they never mentioned this, but they don't reference Lord and God and stuff in American marketing. Yeah, because it's not controversial in Japan to associate things with like religious connotations. They're like, why wouldn't we do that? That exists.
It's just a thing that exists.
Yeah, why is that a disrespectful thing? But in America, a lot of people are like, if you don't bring it up in this specific context, you are being disrespectful.
And if you are, you're taking sides.
Yeah, like, okay, I have to bring it up in a specific context in order to even mention it, in order to even use the word? Okay.
So, is this right about the point where Charizard comes?
Moving along.
Charizard gonna come in?
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon swings by. I mean, Charizard... I'm torn between because Charizard just flies in and saves him, and Ash is like, Charizard, you saved our lives. And Charizard's like, Char. And he's like, thank you, Charizard.
Yeah, you think Ash would be like, holy crap, how have you been? How's your wife?
Whoa, and like, holy shit, I almost died. You just say, oh my God, Charizard, I love you. Thank you so much. He's a, thank you so much, Charizard. I owe you one.
Charizard, look out behind you.
What are the chances that Charizard just happened to come in at that time?
Yeah, it's lazy writing, but but they do share a bond. I would buy that Charizard and Ash's bond would, like, their oral bond, oral AURAL, not their oral bond like what Brock wants to do with Lisa.
So Ash is Lois Lane and Charizard is Superman.
Like they have a bond like Pokemon and Trainer, a very strong one. It's his only Pokemon that ever evolved.
Like E.T. and Elliot.
Fact check that. It's canon. It's the only Pokemon that ever evolved. I know that's not true. But
I was going to educate you, but yeah, you're good. You're just making a joke.
Yeah, hyperbole. No, it saves him, and it brings him back up into the mansion, and Entei almost knocks him off again, but his friends come, and even Team Rocket reaches out to help save him.
Yeah, and they make a meta franchise joke. Why would you save us, Team Rocket?
I hate that. They're not dead. Stop trying to make Team Rocket Deadpool. It doesn't work.
The franchise would be ruined if you were gone.
I see, like, after every movie, Jesse and James are like, Meowth, stop trying to make that our thing. It doesn't work for us.
Just saying, this would be a perfect time to nab that rare Pikachu.
Yeah, you know,
Ash has fallen to his death. We can finally commit our goal.
Like, James is like, my ad-libs are gold. Jesse's ad-libs are gold. You're the reason the directors keep telling us to stop ad-libbing. My ad-libs are great. Every single one of them is about the fourth wall, Meowth. You have to do more than simply acknowledge the fourth wall to be funny.
Well, you're the one that was bringing up Wade.
Meowth, Deadpool is funny. He doesn't just say the fourth wall exists. Isn't it funny?
No, that's John Cena.
So this is about the point where they try to convince her, and they're like, you could have real Pokemon. And she's like, my Pokemon are real. And he's like, you could have real friends. And she's like, all right, that's low. You don't have to talk about my friends. This is between me and you, Ash. Stop talking about the Pokemon and the friend. Can we keep this between me and you? And they, so there's this big drawn out battle. It is kind of cool, but it's also like, I guess maybe it's just my beef with action scenes. I get bored during action scenes. I get bored during X-Wing fights and lightsaber battles, and you know,
that's fair. I mean, honestly, this really is just more showcase of what. Then it's just like Entei breathes psychic energy or something. What is he spitting at then? Like Godzilla gamma rays?
Right, the entire third act. Every legendary knows Shadow Ball, according to the movies.
Is that what it is? It's Shadow Ball.
It's either Shadow Ball or some dragon type move. I think it might be Shadow.
Yeah, why have him use Flamethrower? That would make too much sense.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe because Entei's smart, and he's like, yeah, that's not going to hurt Charizard.
And, you know, you got to diversify it a little bit, because Fire with Fire, they've already tried that, and they're like, okay, you know, the different colors too, you know, purple versus red.
Yeah, so eventually, though, like, Molly is like, all right, the entire third act is Entei shooting Shadow Ball at Charizard. I'm getting kind of tired of this.
And
Entei,
at the crystals.
Stop! And Entei's like, oh, you want me to stop now? And she's like, yeah,
I'm bored.
I'm bored.
Entei is ruthless. Like, he steps on Charizard's neck and is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, Briana with the save. That's what actually happened in the real narrative. She's like, all right, this is going too far. I don't want you to kill that Pokemon.
Say my name, Charizard.
So yes, as we are still keeping it real, Molly said, stop, no more fighting. And Entei is like, okay, I am a father figure. I should probably stop doing this shit. So Molly decides to come with them, and then Entei's like, well, if you're going to do this shit, I'm with peace.
You're finally safe and with a family.
Well, no, yeah, Entei decides to help save him out of there. And yeah, I appreciate sort of breezing through this long, drawn-out ending. But, like, yeah, the
Unown start, like, getting angry. Like, I guess they explained it. They had too much psychic energy and they couldn't store it all, so it just started becoming erratic, I guess.
Yeah, it's something that's it very commonly happens with normal type Pokemon. They just get overwhelmed with psychic energy. And it spins out of control. No, but yeah, and then, like, so it's actually pretty badass because, like, Pikachu, Charmander, and Entei, and
Charmander was there?
oh, I'm sorry, Pikachu.
Oh,
It's Pikachu, Charizard.
fake ass pro.
It's Pikachu, Charizard, Entei, Android 17, and Frieza. They all like fire their shadow
Cooler,
balls.
though?
They all fire their shadow balls at the Unown until they finally break, because they got a barrier, and they break through the barrier and save the day. They knock out the Unown, and then the Unown are like, our bad, we'll go away now.
Can we just talk about how when they first came into the room, Ash's first instinct is to just run right into the barrier?
Well, yeah, his plan was, you didn't see his arms out. He was about to be like, Unown, I'm Ash Ketchum, and one day I'm going to be the greatest Pokemon master.
So what, he was trying to hug them?
Well, no, his plan was that after they heard that, they would be so impressed that they would just stop what they were doing, and they'd be like, oh, really? Tell me more.
So you're Ash Ketchum?
Stand back, kid. We can't control this.
If he's not trying to punch some legendary or run into a barrier, what is he doing? That would be heroic.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's pretty much the end. The Entei is like, all right, I'm going to leave, as you said, and Molly, they're like, Molly, do you want to come with us now? Like, you can have real friends. And Molly's like, sure, and then Ash is like, actually, I'm about to go explore Johto some more. I've got new friends now. See you guys. Hey, Brendan and May, I want to come to Hoenn. I don't know. And then Molly's abandoned once again. No, Spencer is seen to come back during the credits.
The end credits. So the movie ends and it's all like happy. I'm like, wait, where the fuck is her dad? oh, okay, he's alive. Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, a lot happens. The credits are actually... Wait, they kind of changed it, I think, in the English version where, like, they actually show it before the credits. The Japanese credits are beautiful. There's so much cool shots that we see.
Just like little glimpses of life, slices of life.
Yeah.
What's going on with all the characters as the music is playing.
Following up, of course, with like Molly being reunited with her dad and this new woman, her stepmom, as the Takeshi Shudo probably chooses to believe.
Mom just like, she got better.
But my favorite part, it's like a Marvel movie. Did you guys stay till the end to see the post-credits scene?
Yes, I thought I stayed.
There's a post-credit scene?
Yeah, it like cuts back to Pallet Town, and Professor Oak and Delia are there, and Delia's like, all right, that was a little too much. Next time we're doing one of my role-play fantasies.
Look, I was like straight up like, oh, no word, I guess I missed it.
We walked right into that one.
Yeah, right?
And Oak's like, okay, I guess it's your turn. Can we still keep the hat on Mr. Mime, though?
No, this next one involves shawarma.
This next one's about Schulier.
Schulier and shawarma.
I'm sorry, this next one's about Spencer. I knew it!
She doesn't think they're professors, what can we say?
I'm gonna quit being a professor and leave to go study T-Rex.
Tell me I'm a bad girl.
I always knew it would come to this. Ever since Delia started fucking Spencer.
Wait a second, what's a T-Rex?
It's all their fault now. A T-Rex destroyed my lab.
There are only 3 fossils.
So I, of course, have opinions aplenty. Opinions aplenty.
Opinions a poppin'.
That's going to be the name of my solo podcast where I just talk by myself for like 4 hours. You guys are both like, how is that any different from this podcast?
Well, no, because it spreads out to more than just Silph. Guys, I'm an opinions a poppin', and I have opinions aplenty, and you are going to listen to all of them.
I'm going to need a new pop screen for that intro. Sorry, what'd you say?
Silph Radio is now called Silph Radio.
Silph Radio?
Featuring Nathan.
Well,
with Entei.
All right, then. I will yield. What did you guys think of this movie? I mean, Briana, we know you loved it. Like, do you have anything that hasn't already been said to say about just what's your overall review of this movie?
I think it's great. It actually inspired a lot of things in my own personal story writing. There's a story I'm coming up with, and a lot of aspects about the imagination and those beautiful scenes and things that were created. It just inspired a lot of that for me. I love the fight scenes. I love the scene with Misty and Molly specifically. I remember being a kid and I was in the pool and I would pretend I was in that fight scene and I could breathe underwater. It's just the imagination and the playfulness.
Yeah,
Right on,
totally.
right on.
I've got to say, it's not a bad first draft, but you've got to do a little more than just changing Molly's name to Briana and Entei's name to Christian Grey.
Oh my God.
what a coincidence. I wrote an exactly the same fanfic.
I'm done with you.
I was so eager to say that I butchered that sentence. All right, on with your review. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just a great movie, you know, the father-daughter aspect, and, you know, like, one of the things, though, that I don't like that Entei is, in fact, not real at all, and he was not featured as an actual Entei until the Hoopa movie. You know, so, like, it's kind of weird that, like, they have Pokemon movies that doesn't feature the actual legitimate Pokemon. It's just an idea of it or an illusion of it.
So it was actually just a projection?
It was an illusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I still at the end, I was like,
I don't fucking know.
Maybe it's real.
No, it was just an illusion made by the unknown.
Right, and Entei even states, you know, I was created to be your father and protector here. He even said, I was created. So he's aware that he was created by the unknown. He was just in denial, or he didn't want to admit that Ash was right.
That changes my entire opinion.
So what did you think of the movie, Craig? What's your
okay.
review?
Well, I don't have childhood nostalgia to rely on with this. I will say, as a movie in general, it's okay. As a Pokemon movie, it is one of the better ones I've seen, one of the better Pokemon mediums I've seen. You could tell the quality is a lot more than in just the show, and even the previous movies that had come out, I had seen those. But so like the 3D battles were cool. A lot of the animation was just beautiful and was well done, and it was absolutely a good message for children, and, you know, about sticking with family. You know, it's just it was a good movie for the kids, and you can, as a fan of animation, you can respect it.
All right. Yeah, you can. I don't know. I've got to say, from my own personal perspective, if this is the best that the Pokemon movies have to offer, I'm not looking forward to the ones that I haven't seen yet.
That's fine. You're an adult. They're not made for you completely.
But I'm a Pokemon fanatic, so they are also made for me.
Right, but you have to share it with the kiddies.
If you want my critical analysis of it, though, that's fine. I share Disney movies and Pixar movies with kids, and they're fucking brilliant and amazing.
Bigger budget.
So I don't know. I think it's a different mentality.
That's true.
Is the dividing factor there?
They don't care. They really. The producer boxes don't care as much, and whether or not they're being
the budget
wonderful to everybody.
Definitely is bigger, though. That shows. I don't like the animation in this movie. I don't know. I'd like to watch them back to back. I feel like, just thinking about it, I feel like the animation in Mewtwo Strikes Back is better. Maybe I'm wrong. They're probably equal, to be honest. I feel like I like Mewtwo everyone loves the story, and I get why everyone loves it, and Molly is definitely she is a better antagonist than Mewtwo, but it's Mewtwo, dog. I didn't actually just say that, if anyone asks. You know what I mean? Like, it's Mewtwo.
You gotta keep your street cred.
It's fucking Mewtwo. That's like saying someone's a better antagonist than Darth Vader. Like, so a lot of people say Kylo Ren's a better antagonist.
Hold your tongue.
A lot of people say Kylo Ren's a better antagonist than Darth Vader, and they
said it. I swear to God, I said don't say it.
They have a lot of really good points that, like, are hard to argue with, that on paper they're kind of right, but that's Darth Vader. So, like, maybe nostalgia and preference and something more than what's actually there in the text and the pieces that make it the essence of the character. I just like Mewtwo and the Mewtwo movie better. I don't know. Like, all the new characters aside from Molly suck. I guess all the new characters in most of the movies suck, except for maybe one or two here and there.
What about Tracy?
Tracy? No, he was made for the show.
Yet.
I don't know, though, but, like, the weirdest thing, though, is, like, I have so many negative things to say about this movie, and it's got, like, a 22% Rotten Tomatoes score, and I looked at the reviews. I wanted to see if Roger Ebert reviewed it, but he didn't, unfortunately. But
he ain't got time for that.
Reading the negative reviews of this movie make me mad, and at first I was like, why? I'm about to shit all over this movie at the end of my podcast. Like, what is it about? And I'm not shitting all over it. I'm joking. I'm using hyperbole again. It's not bad. And if you like it, I'm not saying you're wrong. But I'm like, why are all these negative reviews rubbing me the wrong way if they're kind of right about it not being a good movie? And then it dawned on me that, like, what they do is, like, they don't just criticize this movie, like, as itself. What's the on its own merits. They don't criticize it on its own merits. They use this as a platform to complain about these damn kids. Like, literally every review is like, you'd think by this third movie it'd be enough to convince these kids that they're fucking dumb and that the stuff they like is stupid and that they should stop liking the stuff they like. And it's like, okay, how about review the fucking movie, dude?
So they were reviewing the fans.
I feel like I can't... Okay, the thing that people like about Pokemon is something other than the quality of the movies and the anime. Even if you are a fan primarily because of the movies and the anime, or a fan primarily of the movies and the anime. Let's say you don't give a fuck about the video games or the card game or anything, and you just love the anime. I still think what attracts most people to Pokemon is something deeper than how good the game is or the quality of the anime. It's something different. It's about that world and that connection with the Pokemon and the way you're able to imagine yourself there and et cetera, et cetera. It's something deeper. And I can't just expect these adult 40, 50-year-old career critics to know that just from watching this movie.
Right.
But I kind of can, because they're career fucking critics, for one, and they know that it's a multimedia franchise. But you know what? I get it. It was a fad. It was very marketable, and I get it, so I can't begrudge them that. But like, just imagine a review for Solo that was like, you think this would be enough to convince all these middle-aged geeks that the thing they like is stupid and that they're stupid for liking it.
A small percentage are yelling about that, yes.
But actually taking the opinion like, hey guys, Star Wars is fucking stupid and I'm smart and I've been saying that since 1974. Maybe you dumbasses could get it through your thick heads that you're stupid for liking Star Wars and it's stupid, and maybe this stupid movie will convince you it's stupid.
Oh, so they're like Pokemon the movie, more like dumb fucking kids.
But I will wager that Pokemon is the only franchise that I have read any reviews like that, and it's every fucking professional review of every Pokemon movie is somebody complaining about how stupid kids are for liking this shit. And you know what? Review the fucking movie, asshole.
Yeah, save that shit for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Because Yu-Gi-Oh's dumb and everyone who likes it's lame.
Yeah. Pokemon's not stupid.
You would think that they would actually spend the time and watch the movie and do their job, but I feel like they didn't even watch the movie. I feel like they were just like, we're going to say we watched this because all movies are basically the same, right? It's just a different character, there's a fight scene, there's a bad guy, and then they learn a lesson that they forget about.
Oh, they played the screener, but they were like blogging on the New Yorker.
Well, they did watch the movie. They make it evident that they watched the movie, but I'm like, yo, couldn't you come into this movie and be like, all right, well, kids like this, and look at it and be like, this movie, all right, you know what? I can see how those monsters are cool and why this appeals to young children. I can see the ways that like this is something that would appeal to a young child, not just because they're being manipulated to get their parents to buy toys, but you know what? I can see that. These are colorful, cool looking animals. Kids like animals. Kids like making friends with animals. Yes, they like battling. They like games where they battle and fight. So this makes sense. This is a crap movie. I'm going to review it on its merits as a movie and be like, you know what? Kids love Pokemon. Maybe they deserve a better Pokemon movie. Even as someone who doesn't like Pokemon and is old and smart and above it, like I really think like that's just I consider myself a professional critic at this point. And as a professional, I don't get paid, but so I'm not technically, but
professional amateur.
Colloquially, the colloquial version of professional. I spend like 40 hours a week editing podcasts. I'm a goddamn professional. And I say that's not doing your job. If I'm going to review a movie that's a franchise I don't like, that's how I would try to go about it. You know what I mean? And be like, this movie sucked. Maybe the fans of this franchise deserve something better.
Right. And not the fans are stupid. This is stupid. Just stop making everything.
Yeah. Like, or maybe the parents of the fans deserve something better.
This is what we got. I wanted Paddington 3.
That last one had a Minnesota Vikings joke in it.
This one's a 5-minute conversation about walking versus waiting. Like, what a waste of time.
About walking versus waiting, or waiting versus waiting. Sorry, the computer racked out right as you were talking.
Supreme Court rules in favor of waiting.
Supreme Court rules in favor of this podcast. This was a really great time. I had an awesome time with you guys.
Yeah, I always have fun doing the movies.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed listening to your take on this movie. It's amazing that you haven't seen it before. I think that's great that you, as an adult, got just the adult perspective of it. Because I look at the movie with rose-colored glasses, because I have that childhood nostalgia, so it's really good to get that opinion. And then you got Nathan, the middleman, that's just all about everything. I like it.
Yeah, man. This is all exciting. I will give anything an open shot.
Really?
Oh, not anything. But pretty close.
Really? You don't say. Would you put on this hat and join me and Delia in the foyer?
Is Delia okay with this?
Hey, please join us next time. I don't know what we're doing next time because I don't know what order things are coming out in because I got a bunch of Silphs going on right now and I'm juggling them all at once trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my life. So join us next time. We've got a new episode of Silph Radio coming soon. Me and Craig will be back with more Fair Points and Fair Enoughs. We've got a bunch of Fair Enoughs we've been juggling as well.
Oh, yeah. Tons of fun. If you all liked me on Silph Radio, definitely check out the Fair Enoughs with Nathan and me.
And hit us up. We love hearing from you. We're ducking out again without reading one of these trainer Pokemon teams that our listeners have been sending in. But please, if you're a fan and you have your own headcanon of like who your Pokemon team is, whether it's what you use in the game or what you would just want to pal around with in the Pokemon universe, please send them in. We love talking about them. It gives us great opportunities for discussion, and people seem to love listening to them. So we would love to feature you, your team, and your story. However much of that you want to send, we'll take, however little or much. So hit us up on Facebook at Silph Radio Podcast or on Twitter at Fairpoint Pod. At Fairpoint Pod, as we said a minute ago, it's me and Craig's podcast, Fairpoint Podcast. And please join us on the subreddit. Let's get some activity going there. I love having conversations with you guys. I love talking on Reddit and Silph Radio, r/Silph Radio. Yeah, go to the website, secretroommultimedia.com.
Hey, that's my website too.
I'll be listening.
And if that wasn't enough, go support Pretty Kitty Fuzzy. From the Secret Room, I am Nathan Capisser.
I'm Craig Lewis.
And I'm Briana Joy.
Next time, we're doing one of my fantasy role plays. Have a good week, guys.
Sounds fair. See what I got to deal with?
Yeah.
So how do you like your job?
Oh, I love it. I get to take pictures of Mickey Mouse and the princesses every single day, so I can't complain. My body hates me, though. I've got, like, carpal tunnel and tendonitis and shit. My hands are like this. Just kidding. It's not that bad.
Oh, really? You're a photographer there? Yeah. So I thought.
Yeah. Good shit.
Are the kids terrible?
The parents are terrible. The kids are fine.
That's awesome. They're all like angry mom.
Oh my god. So like parents name their kids the worst possible thing. And I see it every single day and I can't make fun of the kids and I really want to.
Mountaintop, come here.
Kinsley or Tinsley or Ainsley.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you why. Like it's crazy. Her name was spelled Lileigh. Her name was Lily. How fucking hard is that to spell with 4 letters?
Lily, but it's like lay. It's like spelled like,
Yeah, it's just like
White people.
it's so much.
She was asking me if the kids or the parents were worse at Disney, and I said the parents. I got a good one though. So there was a kid that a friend of mine had that they were taking pictures of, and the parents kept calling him Flash. And so we asked him, "Is this, your son's actual name?" And they said, "Yeah, his big sister, when he was born, we let her name him whatever she wanted. She named her brother Flashlight."
And you went with it.
Now, Jocelyn, are you... Jocelyn?
Easy, dear. We
Are
don't
you
want to
sh-
discourage her.
Do you really want to name your brother that? Jocelyn, are you going to be reasonable? No, you're just going to name your... Okay, you're filling out the paperwork. Jocelyn, are you really...
She's filling out the paperwork.
Okay. Jocelyn, we would appreciate it if you didn't fill out the paperwork. Jocelyn.
It's just a picture of a flashlight.
Jocelyn, are you going to be reasonable and not name your brother Flashlight? Jocelyn, please. Jocelyn, please. I've had a very stressful day at work, Jocelyn. Jocelyn. Okay. All right. Well, your brother is named Flashlight.
Now you're going to be the one who has to explain it to the peers at school.
So my coworker actually had one even worse the other day. The kid's name was literally spelled X-X. They pronounced it Xton.
X-tit?
Exton.
X-10?
Like Ashton.
X-10. Oh, like
Ashton.
Weapon X, the 10th one.
X-X.
Ashton?
Like Ashton. Exton. But 10.
Exton.
X. Okay.